Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth, and there is a portion of this that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
Angel Reese is on a downward spiral. Now, the crash is taking place in real time after riding a wave of enthusiasm into the realm of enormous endorsements. Those flashy brand partnerships are eroding one by one. Additionally, the pushback is becoming unbearably loud. The so-called Babu Barbie just hit a marketing wall, thanks to Ice Cub's direct criticism and admirers who formerly applauded but are now disparaging her brand. And the vicious turn. Everything fell apart when Caitlin Clark took her city while she was sitting on the bench, taking center stage. If you concur that Caitlin is the attraction, please leave a comment. Come on.
Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark. Oh, fuck. It's about to get ugly. With the Big Three's $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark never coming to fruition, could a lucrative Angel Reese proposal be up next for the Hoops League? Tell me you don't know ball. I mean, honestly, don't count on it.
Angel was formerly positioned as the WNBA's golden ticket, the influencer queen, and the face of a new age. The well-known companies were drooling. However, the script changed more quickly than anyone anticipated. The headlines began to change. The business community's whispers became silent terror. The dream is now collapsing directly in front of us. Suddenly, brands that were pleading to join the Angel Reese industry are ignoring the discussion.
Happened to Miss Angel Reese. She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
Chaos reigns behind the scenes. Significant campaigns associated with Reese. Some have already begun planning, some have been put on hold indefinitely, and some have been canceled completely. After analyzing the information, agencies are reaching a chilly conclusion. The story is not supported by the numbers. The results don't live up to the expectations. What caused this abrupt reckoning? An appearance by none other than Ice Cube.
No, but it was business. That's all it is, business. Y'all gonna make it personal though.
Even though there was just one interview, the consequences was devastating. Cube wasn't nuanced. His reaction to the question of why his Big Three leagues only made a $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark and not to Angel Reese or anybody else was shrewd. Regarding Angel Reese, they didn't state that. Interpretation. There was no biting from the sponsors. They thought Caitlin had the ability to make a difference. Angel was not even mentioned. They're going to arrive and pick up Ice Cube. We are aware of how this operates. It won't take long. Cube didn't hold back. He declared, "I'm not in the business of losing money." And the curtain fell in an instant. More impactful than any tabloid headline was that single sentence. Why would any corporate executive bet on Angel Reese if someone with Ice Cub's commercial acumen and cultural influence isn't? The people who wish to make the payment have confirmed this. Sponsors. This is more than just a tale of a chance lost. It has to do with the collapsing view. Additionally, perception is crucial in branding. Boardrooms were chilled by Cub's remarks. Nearly all of the calls could be heard. Are we actually moving this Angel Reese rollout along? Her confidence started to fade subtly, professionally, but unquestionably, not because she lacks talent, but rather because the outcomes didn't live up to the social media hype.
TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week, and the Big Three honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon.
Caitlin Clark's story, on the other hand, is completely different. It wasn't a hazardous move when the Big Three made their $5 million offer. It was an investment supported by data. 10 games, each worth $500,000. And you know what? It was anticipated that every penny would return with interest. When you are a certified draw, that is what takes place. someone who ensures revenue, views, and ticket sales. Clark is a source of income. Reese isn't even considered.
Didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese.
Took over the city of Chicago, and this is the star power that Ice Cube was referring to. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like this.
Furthermore, this went beyond contracts and hypotheticals. In reality, Clark was in Chicago Angels turf at the time, transforming the city into her own fan parade. Remember that even though she was sidelined and injured, she was still drawing thousands of people to the streets and calling her name as if she were Jordan's second coming. Angel, meanwhile, is nowhere in sight. Her once audacious Reebok campaign was becoming quieter. Furthermore, one fan stated rather plainly that Clark didn't simply fall into the trap. It belonged to her.
Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over. CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God.
That's the harsh truth. Now, Angel Reese is looking down. The hype is short-lived. Additionally, Caitlin Clark outperforms everyone, including the person who is supposed to be her rival, when the suits in charge of multi-million-dollar budgets sit down and look at the real facts on reach, retention, and conversion. The outcomes are quite different.
I actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
Because this is the result of marketing a player before they have demonstrated their ability to stick around. When followers and long-term value are confused. When you believe that being trendy will always convert into money. It's a myth, and the industry is quickly realizing this.
Wow, I'm not sure any other single, outside of just the pure numbers that we keep showing people, literal numbers.
The unraveling has started now. It's not too loud. It isn't disorganized. However, it's taking place. Interest in the brand is declining. No one is responding to emails. There are no new transactions in Horizon. The fact that Ice Cube didn't even pursue Angel is what hurts the most. He simply spoke the truth. This fact is reflected in every boardroom where ROI is important and budgets are constrained.
Understand your place sometime. Look, they talking about Caitlin Clark took over Angel Reese's trap. See, this is why you don't need to keep trying to take shots at her. She took the city over.
Angel was intended to be the main attraction and the main attraction. She appears more like a case study in overexposure, though, all of a sudden. Additionally, Caitlin Clark rolls into Chicago and sets the city on fire as she observes the momentum ebbing away. This takeover was not silent. There was an all-out fan frenzy. Not to mention that Clark wasn't even wearing a uniform. Nevertheless, the city crowned her.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs.
Because Caitlin did more than simply steal attention that week. It completely altered the WNBA's marketing environment. She altered the story instead of simply beating it. Buildings were surrounded by crowds, and some were skipping work to have a look. She was dubbed Queen of the Rack by the internet. It stuck because it was genuine, not just because it was catchy. Chicago is the largest Barbie and the Queen of the Rack. In the meantime, Angel had the social media presence, brand tie-ins, and slogans. Clark, however, possessed an item that is impossible to produce. Genuineness. People relate to her. They come to her aid. And sponsors are pursuing that. I mean, aside from the reality that an LSU arena cannot hold even half as many people. Even worse, Angel began to vanish at the same time as Caitlin's fame was taking off. She is categorized as dubious at first, then as daily. And while there is no denying that back injuries are severe, supporters are not naive. The timing seemed ideal. Naturally, a flurry of speculation followed. Was she trying to avoid the comparison and the spotlight?
I mean, outside of the fact you can't even get half the amount of people inside an LSU arena.
Since consider the visuals. Huge audiences are drawn by Caitlin Clark while Angel Reese sits on the bench. One saw skyrocketing ratings, while the other saw stillness. Brands are uneasy with this kind of contradiction, and they began murmuring fans. Some believe that her team suggested a calculated disappearance. She didn't want the heat, according to others. Furthermore, who could blame her in the viral media world of today?
I don't know how you could ever imagine, like, how can you compete with this?
The business staff at Ice Cub had already realized what was going on. They observed a noticeable decline in Angel Reese's involvement behind the scenes. Reduced energy, reduced chatter, and fewer clicks. That is not a mild indication in the world of endorsements. The size of an arena scoreboard, it is a blinking red alert.
Reese was not going to be able to bring in the amount of eyes for the sponsors and for the league for him to justify that offer.
Here, the raw data is the main focus. Just statistics, no nonsense. Additionally, the numbers are screaming. The sales of Caitlin Clark's jerseys are dominating the charts like a goods train. Regardless of the zip code, she plays at sold-out arenas, crowded homes, and other venues. The league average for television ratings is 2 to 3 times higher. Additionally, don't assume that this is merely a gathering of Indiana fans. It's also taking place on the road. In every city she travels, she is the main attraction.